President Trump was once a well-known birther. Now, that, of course, is the conspiracy where President Obama was, in fact, not actually president. So this is their "not my president," which is ironic because they always come back and say, "Well, Trump's your president. Trump's your president." They literally tried to have a movement to say that Obama was not their president by claiming that he was born in another country. So now Donald Trump was also in that movement. He went all over cable TV talking about how, no, I'm going to find the birth certificate. I got people out there in Hawaii. I got investigators out there. They're going to find the birth certificate. And so you would hear that all over Fox News. And this is years before Donald Trump actually started running, right? But all of that changed in 2016 when he won the Republican primary. And his campaign decided that they were going to release a statement that disavowed that conspiracy theory. That is, of course, part of the pivot from a primary election to a general election. They try to attempt to appear less crazy, right? So now, again, that's really the change, right? I don't think a lot of his staffers really understood where the president or what the president actually thought about this, right? Because according to a new book with excerpts that they had given to Vanity Fair, Trump's campaign tried really hard to get him to disavow the birther conspiracy. So his response to that, though, was indignant rage and a 7-minute diatribe against Hillary Clinton and Obama, and that left his staffers seriously confused on what to do. Now, the book explains, quote, at first, the Republican presidential nominee was met with dead silence, with those on the line confused, and it's a phone call, as to what the optimal response could possibly be, wrote the authors of the forthcoming book, Sinking in the Swamp. All right. Multiple advisors wanted to tell him that his dictated statement was far, far, far too long, again, 7 minutes, and would cause many more headaches for the campaign than it would resolve. If released, this would defeat the purpose of everything the campaign staff was trying to accomplish on this front, to basically make his campaign appear to be less crazy by disavowing the racist birtherism theory. And yet, here comes the fun part. Nobody wanted to upset Trump, whose legendary hair trick or temper could easily be set off by the slightest sign of perceived insolence. Basically, we have to be careful or we're going to upset the baby. That's what the staff has always had to deal with, approaching Donald Trump with kids' gloves, or else he throws a fit. Now, Hope Hicks, when she was there, had gently tried to explain to Trump that the statement should be shorter and less antagonistic. And the GOP candidate asked others on the line whether they agreed with this. Quote, no campaign official who chimed in sided with Trump, the authors wrote, with each of them giving some pussyfooting version of, quote, this is insane, why would we do this, adding a sir or two to be safe. Oh, sir, no, you don't understand. The president was actually not born in Kenya. That's just bullshit that we put out to, for the rubes, right? For the idiots in our party, the idiots and racists. We don't actually have to say that anymore because that's actually a small part of our electorate. Now we actually have to pivot to the general. The primary is over. But here's the thing about Trump. He is the Fox News president. And he thinks, no. What are you guys talking about? No, I believe in that. Obama was born in Kenya. No, he's definitely born in Kenya, and he's not an American. So no, don't point it out to me. And by the way, me pointing it out, well, did you hear those people at my rally when I said he wasn't born in America? They went crazy. They love it. So I have to keep telling them that. And yes, I probably do believe it myself. As the book explains, their comments were met with a brief but uncomfortable silence. And then that's when Trump erupted. Quote, I want that statement, the candidate bellowed. Get me that effing statement. I want that goddamn effing statement right now. Where the F is it? That's Trump. Total and complete meltdown. This is your very stable genius. So he blows up at these guys on the phone because he wants his 7-minute rant against Obama and Hillary to be his official statement on birtherism. Get me that statement. I want that statement now. So, look, obviously they didn't put out that statement. So what happened? Well, it turns out that senior communication advisor Jason Miller somehow managed to get Trump to agree to release a brief statement. Now, the caveat here, the catch is that it had to be signed in his own name, Jason Miller, not Donald Trump's. Now, that allowed Trump to give his own statement during an event at the Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C., where he did, at a certain point, briefly disavow birtherism. Oh, yeah, no, I don't believe in that anymore. Did he? Does he really disavow it, though? Does he? I mean, look, he's not running a campaign right now, but he will be very soon. And already he's going after, he's going after the candidates, obviously. But at some point, he's going to evoke Obama because he can't let it go. And of course, Hillary Clinton, because he can't let that go. Now, here's the fun part, right? Even more fun than before. So he was pretty mad that he didn't get to put out this rambling nonsense about Obama and Hillary, right? So within 24 hours, he just forgets about it. Gone. In fact, according to the book, barely 24 hours after showing so much fury and dejection, he had already started forgetting about it and soon moved on. He wasn't pestering his staff about it, they wrote, and he was back to his crooked Hillary and lock her up shtick. In this case, crisis was averted only because it slipped Trump's elderly mind. And that was that. No batshit written statement. Awesome. Think about this, right? The Democratic establishment, Hillary Clinton, who had all this money, lost to a guy who could barely remember what he had done or what he had wanted a day earlier. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.